so happy you'll be smiling out of your pores when you get more than what you bargained for. It will be a number that you would like to explore and you can forget about it. You were en routed and dislocated from the place where you had the disadvantage in time. Some of these leverages points to lift you off the headache and the adversity that you can add up to. Calculate these mathematics, these statics. You pass that and sit inside the chart of retardation of you retardation. These are handicaps that are ready to find more constipated of your bullshit. These are something I have to deal with. Places that I've never known before. Close my eyes and get to the highs of those teeth. Concentrated ways that I can find these falls and walls. Don't sleep on me.
The rent is getting too high, and I don't want to mention. Maybe it's mentioned. The rent is getting too high, and I don't want to mention. Maybe it's mentioning. The rent is getting too high, and I don't want to mention. The rent is getting too high, and I don't want to mention. Maybe it's mentioning the men. Maybe it's mentioning the rent is getting too high, and I don't want to mention. Maybe it's mentioning.
The rent is getting too high, and I don't want to mention. Maybe it's mentioning the men and the invention of your patriarchy. The rent is getting too high, and I don't want to mention. Maybe it's mentioning the men and the invention of your patriarchy. Or maybe it was Pat. Or maybe it was the Patriot.
The rent is getting too high.
The rent is getting too high, and I don't want to. The rent is getting too. The rent is getting too high, and I don't want to mention. Maybe it's mentioning the men and the invention of your patriarchy. Or maybe it was Pat. The rent is getting too high, and I don't want to mention. Maybe it's mentioning the men and the invention of your patriarchy. Maybe it was Pat. Or maybe it was the Patriots. Maybe it was some a little bit that couldn't read and read me wrong. Maybe it was a song. Maybe it was the lyrics that you couldn't feel. For Jason's lyrics were just a place between here and discovery where you can find something theatrical between the virtual reality and maybe the reality within the spirit or the spirituality or the ability to be able to be capable. Or to be Wi-Fi or analog, and there's no digital place between here and you dig me. There's a place where it matters. I come from the antimatter. I come from things you can't see like the wind blows. This is me finding my way through the movement like God. I am the word that connect the energy of music. Nothing without the synchronization. Synchron identity. I'm wearing my mask like no masquerade. These are the places. Fast forward the parade and move in the direction. Opposite. For the place where you could deposit your transcendental ways of finding you. The hypnotist. The hypocrisy. The best of you. Think you're hip. I come from that blood. Not that I'm a crip. Or don't wanna bang. No hanging in the corner or across or for the wood. I wish you would. Nigga, you would be lost. And I, God, will find you where you're lost. Lost where you found. Found like a coat on the ground. Kid in the third grade. Place in the elementary elements. It's elementary, it's apparent. You need more apparent. Apparent that you have parents that you didn't want to listen to. Maybe you had ears. Maybe if you had a concentration or could comprehend. Maybe if it wasn't too complicated, you could just lend a hand. This is the place where I recommend you have a recreational card before you have intelligence. Maybe it was your intel that you find that you can't wait to tell about. Maybe it was the ignorance that you could find a rant about. Maybe it was the words you could break down. I am your Instagram. I will give you a gram, but instantly like a minute man. Alright, chair right on time like every rhyme, then everything that's witty. Walk cross bridges like Walt Whitman did. I am more than talk walk like I got big halves. I have and I have not. I come from that rock bottom. There is not the bumper clots, but those for the adversity you find God. It's the odd and symmetry, it's the balance, it's the talent that's in the talentry. It's the ramps, it's those who can and can't and understand the contractions, the newborn, it's the child, it's the development, it's yours, it's the black and miles in the cigarette industry, it's the bottom of the barrel of the whiskey, it's the everything that we can find within a sparrow with a message, and somebody shot it down with the guns that they couldn't afford but had it behind the Ford. There's a pour coming out of you, pouring out of the tears inside your, coming out of your eyes, and you could see it out of your intuitive side. And your mother was an astrology sign, and your father was the same thing too. You come from the bloodline, and the genetics is the same as the genes that you wear. You sag because you can brag about everything that you don't care for, like you were meta world peace or a metaphor or a stereotype coming out loud like a stereo player, or a radio or a player with a stereo, or steering your place into the place where you don't belong like a crash dummy. you're dummy, you're gonna crash and end up in the middle of the night with a broken jaw, or the hands of life, or the police and cops will come in the middle of the night and beat you with their batons, like you were in Louisiana in the Baton or Baton Rouge, or beat by Christmas time by Uncle Scrooge, or you're lost in the bet and gonna get beat 2 times, double black eyes, like you're placing the bet and you're gonna lose, or you're a loser just for losing, or being lost, or not being able to find what you placed, or it's nobody's fault but yours, like you lived in California and gave the grace. You're the place of pacer, you're the place of trace of transparency, you're the transit wrap, you're the transportation, you're the synergy, or some kombucha that you could find inside the vinegar, with the place in the water, with the elements that you could come from your daughter. This is the martyr, this is the homage, this is the place where you can find the comma, this is the period, this is the answer, this is the truth, this is the fiction, this is the story, this is the tale. I don't want to tell you his story or hers, and this is the word up, this is the everything to write, but then the right ons, and you're on and off, or you're right on. Word up, and niggas are left out. This is the place where you ascend, or you down and grounded, or grounded and compound. Compound is too complicated. This is the more than a word or a double figure.
this nation as its half is tight. Like in my asshole and you're a vagina. Use the Facebook from Virginia. This is North Carolina. I'm Caroline, you're Caroline. You're gonna come cleaner than the Clorox. You're the rapping, I'm the beatbox. I'm the balance symmetry, and you're the unorthodox. I'm the unauthorization or in the zip, and the chairman, the CEO, and the cereal, and the Oreos. I'm all the sweets. I'm the man that's alive and the diabetes. I'm the man in the middle and the committee. I'm complicated as one titty's bigger than the other titty. There's one boot that looks cuter than the other cuticle. There's a cute orange that I like to tell you is a different color. The one that's the color is the one that you wear that's easier to take off. Because the one is going to be hard to put on. I'm hard to get put on. I'm turned up. I'm turning about like I was flipping a bitch. I can hit this dick and hit the knife that it will cut you with. I'm a cutthroat. I'm too broke and throat and don't have words or lungs to say it. My chakra is dead and I'm about to spray it like I was a Windex bottle. Yes, you can. Sock you in a hollow place inside of your mouth. There's a place that will leave you called lost outer space without a race or trace where you are. Like people transparent.
None of my breath, none of my words, none of my understanding of words. There's a place where nobody is trying to break my neck, looking up to you, and you don't break your back for me. I don't want to be an app on your phone, or look in your apology, or your app, or your applications, or maybe it was the stagnation that you try to find me. I never had it, never was a stagnation. Stallion barely made it to the outcome. I'm coming out, I'm coming in, I'm coming. I got some income and employment, and maybe they're employed. Then give me some M&M's, I'm like enjoy, the joy like an almond. I'm in almond joy and the butter with the coconut. Behind to be hydrated with this water. I'ma slaughter everybody that cries. Mess with my daughter, not to me. I can find it, I don't want to bother, but nothing relevant to everything. It doesn't matter, it's still my intelligence. It's the seed of the man, this is the piece of my passion. This is not passion for Christ. This is not passion for Christ. Ancestor, this is not a bloodline.
People let me dead like
I can hang with a minute with a corner store down in the corner.
Maybe you read about it, or maybe you read
Minute with a corner like
maybe out of
that.
place.
This is the way.
Maybe you just a vibration. Maybe
this is not your reference.
maybe you couldn't see me.
You're not passion shepherd to the sheep.
Wasn't showing my third
Something within the deep of the rock in my heart is
That's the life.
a place where you can find the adversity in the God. You can find something out of the normalcy. This is not
Maybe I'm
more
gonna tell you something that I'm a prophet. I have eyes to see like there was the television. I'm trying to tell you like I vision.
This is not the common or
Maybe I got a third eye. It's the third time I tell you.
mentality. This is not something for you to talk about because you're not black and from this nationality. I'm not a technicality, I'm technical. I'm not advanced, I'm blue study, technology, science, and mystical, Christ conscious, and everlasting evangelical. I am poor and empathetic, or an apology, or empathetical, or pathetical, or pathetic, or pessimist, or pessimistic, or pestilential. I'm not a rat and I'm not a mouse. I'm not a computer and I'm not at your house. I'm not at your desk and I'm not a boy. I'm not
They married you
like sprinkle irony. These are the places where you step in between me
or step
we are
in the face.
equal people.
What color that was in
We are a sequel and
enslavement, more than slavery,
criminal
place, more than place we
investigation of some kind of scientific experiment that you can make X out the alphabet. I bet you were taking a different route.
Those who crept
exercise
who have
You
rest
were
laid
Wi-Fi
alive,
looking for
those
the
who
routing
slept,
number, the number
those
that
who in
linked
peace,
routes
and now was not to leave.
on your lottery.
Your niece,
This is the place where you can find something or the directions to be.
there were stories and you can find them.
Notion,
Lateral
receiving,
thing,
man,
collateral that you're gonna get from
Situation will leave you.
who's hurt,
for you.
Mother
Way that
Earth,
you can afford it.
Earth is worth
Effort.
we care about.
And for you can be
Whereabouts,
information.
information, your sustainability
Can
of
be
lives, the higher
affirmed
your
to
habits and everything that
be
you do.
adjourned.
On the shore here,
We need
stand by
a
lighthouse,
spermicide genocide. Maybe you can be the brother or
with an
colonies left between the thighs. So maybe you could be the complicated situation. Then a sperm man and you see the sperm.
Souls
See
keep
or
you away
the
from your soul. Be in touch with
vulnerability
your
or the
maybe
vulnerable place is able to be a boner.
Jordan's not worried.
Or a boner in the morning when you died and cried about it.
Or the
I cried
carnivore
about it
bad
because
beef.
I'm a storyteller.
Or maybe it's
Tell
more for the
stories
purpose
like
of the season of the Christmas or
I'm
reef
sure
around the door for the opportunity
grander than that.
for the special ops.
Grand bar. I
for the
speak
cops.
bars that I
Or just
talk
to be
about and walk about
like
where I
you
care
were
about.
king
Like
or
I
Rodney.
was
Or
a security
God
guard
or spirit
inside of a
within
grocery
me.
store.
Without me,
Put you on
wouldn't want to
a
be. Without
shelf.
me, I couldn't be.
Put you on a block
translucent, I'm
put you
fluid,
in a
I'm liquid,
hood,
I'm water,
put you on
I'm
not
ocean.
getting shot like you
No
were a
bumper clock,
safety
in a
belt,
drop, I'm all.
or a
All
safety
one,
on
I
a
am.
metal
All's
clip,
one, we are.
or a
R,
clip on
my
to
letter.
keep
B,
your
all
keys
you can.
safe,
Bruner, it's my last
or
name.
to
These are acronyms.
harm
I
your
am
money
an
like I was
act,
breaking in a
act.
safe,
I'm tripping. These
or
are
I'm
tripping
shopping
me
at
off. These are
Safeway still
tripping
in my
my heart.
shopping
These
cart.
are still in my life.
My cartilage is holding
breaker parts.
truth in my
These are
hand.
my break beats.
Ready.
These are my breakdowns. These
be
are
asked the
my
question,
breaking ups.
paper,
These are my
plastic,
breaking it all. Breaking it to pieces and filtering
I
everything
got
I
a
can
place
break
in my story.
inside of my hand.
I got a
hold it
place
together
in my
like
story.
I was depressed.
I got a place in my
Fumbling
stories.
around, fumbling over the
I got a place in my story,
Maybe
a
it was the
story to
surge.
tell you about, a
Maybe
place
it was
where I
that
come
surge
from,
in
a
the
place
surge.
from the
Maybe it
cerebrum and
was
the
that
cerebellum, and a place where the people
place where I
land
had
happy.
belong. Maybe it was the song.
Stone.
Incomplete.
This is the place where I had bones.
Maybe
Dirty there, I got washed with blood.
Maybe the cow could cry.
It's no gangster story or nothing like that, but
grass fields
as
they
it
eat
is
at.
below,
And
it
maybe
is
was the
above.
table, part of the elements and down the table.
Maybe it was that I was
maybe
in
I
the
was
orbital.
able, maybe I was able. Or
I was
able,
in orbit,
or I had a
or-
cane like Big Daddy. And
This is the place where
the Cadillacs and the revolutions and then
this is not a race or a space or something, a trace that you can find like tracing paper or tracing. It's transparent that it's a transgender. Maybe if you weren't on Tinder, you could be more sympathetic or have authenticity or be a citizen from the city or be committed to the committee. How about the city council or the councilman or council elect or the elections or those that you vote without finding sovereignty? Sovereignty to have everything but the soul reunion. This is unity or this is the unity, you're communist. Or is this the unified school district or teaching you the education to find you subliminally miseducated or like you was a marriage to the words or casting spells that you couldn't read or spell about or tell about like you were told off. Somebody told you not to tell what you did because you spoke about like you was from Spokane, Washington, and you washed a ton of your soap in your mouth for talking that shit that you couldn't have the muscles to carry inside of your muscle because the tissues and the issues that you had were the place where you didn't register for that and sign people up for that. I'm not an abstract guy for the abstract. This makes me the lacking or the rapture or that rap that I don't care about or don't see your whereabouts or where you are, where a star is because the illumination that I have is too much to blind the eyes. I must be found where the eye can see eye and I may lay between the truth and the lies and the rhyme in the middle with the hard place where the narrow path where you can find the truth and the light. The light may be the truth and if you understand the understanding of cow alchemy, maybe this is the place where you can understand the division between here in the S-O-N as a the resurrection of esoteric. Maybe it was the lyrics, or maybe it was the vibration, or maybe it was the light, or maybe it was the concentration, maybe it was the consciousness, or maybe it was complicated. Maybe it was the compound inside of that barn, maybe inside of that farm, inside of that song, inside that conceptual, immaculate conception, or maybe it was the direction or the perception, or maybe it was perception or pay attention, or maybe you can afford to live inside of the neighborhood, or maybe you had neighbors, or maybe that was a bad thing and the grid that we replaced with the city, the metropolitan, or maybe you were metro or indo or indigo. Maybe you smoking the indigo, or maybe you can go inside the house and not go with in and out like you were a little kid and you know what I'm talking about. Like you had ears that work. These are the place where my future hurts. My future is worth the value of that. My love for myself and everybody else with the all for one formula. It's the format I have. It's the encode nation. It's the whole nation under a code and a spell and a tired oppression under another oppression. And I'm guessing the question is more than a hypothetical situation. It's a hyperblast. It's a supernova. It's a nova like you were super old. It's the story that was been told to me the times that was never supposed to be. It's the misinterpretation of a psychology, or it's an apology, or it's an app, or it's that crap that will make you sit on the porcelain. You're gonna break that like you were a break beat and break dancing. You're gonna break meat like you were break fast and breaking peace like you were breaking beef. These are places before Christ in the timeline, like a Christmas tree or a Christmas wreath. Reese's Pieces, or a piece of Reese that didn't have peace, but he had a lease, and he had a right, and he had a left, and took his breath away with that jab from Randolph or from Rudolph or that nose that was hung in the air. This is the place where abstract comes from any county or mountain or Montclair. It don't care, it don't matter. Tell it to your Teddy Ruxpin.